Today I'm going to be showing you the 10 best brawlers that you need to max out and start using in this Brawl Stars season. Now, as you guys know, Brawl Stars recently had some massive balance changes, so there have been some huge changes and shifts in the meta, and because of this, a lot of you probably don't know which brawlers are worth maxing out this season. But have no fear, Kashewz Gaming is here. By the end of this video, you will know the 10 best brawlers to max out in this season, and you can gain even more trophies or elo or whatever. Make sure to like and subscribe because I'm on my way to 200,000 subscribers, so subscribe or you will turn into a balance change, okay? Alright, we're starting off strong with the most complicated brawler in the game, Bea Gaming. Now, if you know how to properly use this brawler and her abilities, she is extremely broken in 3v3 game modes and she can do some serious damage to the other team. Whether you're using Bea for ranked or trophy pushing, her geisha aspect and ninja aspect are such an insane combination. Now, if you decide to max out this brawler this season, definitely use this build right here. This build allows Bea to effectively switch between her modes, and at the same time, she can avoid taking a significant amount of damage or get eliminated. If you switch to the ninja mode, for example, you'll gain some extra speed so you can easily run away and shoot enemies from the long range. If you switch to the geisha aspect, on the other hand, you'll actually heal for 30% of your max health, which will give you enough health to dash away and escape from enemies if you're getting cooked. Now, Bea did get some nerfs in the recent balance changes, but even with these nerfs, I still think that Bea is extremely strong, and you can easily gain a bunch of trophies and elo with her. Now, like I mentioned before, this is probably the most complicated brawler to learn, so if you're thinking about maxing out Bea, be sure to practice her mechanics and learn how to effectively switch between her modes, because she's a very complicated brawler, okay? And yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, comment your favorite brawler. The next brawler that you need to max out right now is Jaeyoung. Now, I've just recently started using this brawler. You can tell by the trophy count, but oh my goodness, he is just too broken, dude. It's not even funny. Even when I'm against a Jaeyoung bro, he is just too hard to counter. Now, you can call Jaeyoung a support brawler, but he does some crazy damage. He has some insane range, first of all, so you can basically snipe your enemies and snipe heal your teammates as well. His super also charges extremely fast, so it's extremely easy to switch between his speed mode and healing mode. Now, if you decide to max out Jaeyoung, you need this gadget, bro. This gadget pretty much allows him to activate a strength aspect, and when he activates this gadget, he deals area damage first of all, and then his main attack deals more damage for 5 seconds. If you're looking to do some crazy damage with this brawler, this gadget is a must-have along with the star power, because this star power allows him to do even more damage. You should also buy his hypercharge if you have the extra coins. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it right now because this brawler, dude, he is way too broken. But even if you don't have this hypercharge, Jaeyoung is still a great support brawler for 3v3 game modes because he does a crazy amount of damage and he has a range of a marksman brawler, dude. And yeah, stay tuned for the last brawler on this list. This brawler is arguably one of the most broken brawlers in the game right now, and you definitely need to max out this brawler this season. Okay, the next brawler on this list is Bea Gaming. I think that I included this brawler on my previous list, but I am putting her on this list again because of her crazy damage output as a marksman brawler. Now, to put things into perspective for you, this is how much damage Bea's regular attack does. A solid 1,600 damage, not bad. But the moment that she has this angry bee thing activated after hitting her first shot, she does a crazy 4,400 damage at power 11. And that is from one shot, dude. And you can basically spam this every time you hit her normal attack, especially in game modes like Gem Grab, Brawl Ball, Knockout, you name it. Now, Bea's hypercharge isn't really that crazy. If you max her out, you can honestly get away with using her without the hypercharge. But if you have the extra coins to spend, a hypercharge never hurts, okay? If you're looking for a versatile marksman brawler to max out, don't max out Nani. Instead, max out the legend herself, Bea Gaming. Alright, I'm giving the next spot to the OG brawler, Crow Gaming. This brawler has been in Brawl Stars since day one, bro. Put some respect on his name. Now, I'm gonna be real with you, this brawler entered the meta out of nowhere. I mean, no one was using this brawler months ago, and he just randomly appears in the meta now. Now, Crow is a great brawler for 3v3 game modes like Brawl Ball. He's got a really fast movement speed, so you can easily dodge a good chunk of enemy shots. He's also got a unique mythic gear, which increases his poison damage by 30%, bro. 30%, bro. And don't even get me started with arguably the most annoying gadget in the game, the slowing toxin gadget. This is probably one of the best gadgets in the game right now. It pretty much allows Crow to instantly slow down enemies who are being poisoned by his attack. If you use this gadget in 3v3, you and your teammates can easily catch up to the slowed down enemies and whack them out of existence. Crow also has a very solid hypercharge, which allows the super to sort of become a boomerang and deal some extra damage. If you're looking for a fun assassin brawler to max out, definitely look into maxing out Crow because he's had some solid buffs this year, and also because of this gadget, dude. Alright, the next best brawler that you need to max out is another support brawler that's a literal tank, and that is my boy Doug Gaming. Now, as you guys know, Doug got a rework a few updates ago, and he jumped from the F tier all the way up to the S tier. That is how life-changing his rework was. Now, although Doug is a support brawler, he also has tank traits which allows him to aggressively push into enemies and deal some crazy damage. For reference, his main attack does 2,400 damage at the max level, which is actually insane. And it also heals 1,200 health for your teammates. Now, what makes Doug even more broken is his two gadgets. One gadget allows his next attack to do double the damage, and the other one allows his next attack to do double the healing. So you can switch your build if you want to do some crazy damage with Doug or some crazy healing with Doug. This star power also lets Doug heal himself with his attack, by the way, which is actually insane. Now, what makes Doug really broken is the damage that he can do to enemies. With over 10,000 health at the max level, Doug can easily push into enemies and just spam attack them. And with the extra mustard gadget equipped, one of his attacks can literally do 4,800 damage. If you decide to max out Doug, definitely take advantage of his high health and damage output, but at the same time, make sure to heal your teammates and don't let them get whacked out of existence, okay? Meeple is the next brawler on this list that you need to max out this season. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Meeple used to be a pretty mid brawler, but after a bunch of meta shifts and the release of his new hypercharge, he is easily an S tier brawler now. Now, I've been using Meeple in 3v3 game modes like Brawl Ball and Gem Grab, and he does some crazy damage and has a good amount of range. Like for reference, this is how much range he has, and he literally does 2,520 damage per attack. Now, the only downside of this brawler that I would say is the extremely slow reload speed. So if enemies are suddenly pushing you and your team, you can't really spam attack them because of Meeple's slow reload speed, but Meeple's super with this star power is crazy. The star power pretty much allows Meeple to do 600 more damage when you shoot through environments. So if you're playing in maps with a lot of walls, literally just spam Meeple's super and attack through walls to do extra damage. Meeple's hypercharge is also another reason why he's currently very broken. His hypercharge pretty much allows his super to cover a larger area, and it also allows Meeple and his teammates to walk through walls and even over water. Now, Meeple's hypercharge did get a slight nerf in the recent balance changes. The duration of his hypercharge super went from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think that this will affect Meeple too much. It is extremely easy to charge a super in hypercharge, so you can easily cycle through more hypercharges and just whack your enemies out of existence. If you decide to max out Meeple, definitely consider buying his hypercharge because it is just way too broken, bro. Alright, Edgar Gaming is next on the list, and a lot of you might already know why I put him on this list. But if you don't know and live under a rock, Edgar actually got some crazy buffs this season, and he's a solid brawler that you can max out right now and easily push to 1,000 trophies. His Fist Cuff star power got an increase in healing from damage. It actually went from 25% to 30%. His other star power, Hard Landing, also got a 10% damage buff, which is pretty nice, dude. Now, I have personally been using the Hard Landing star power, so this 10% damage buff is extremely helpful. Now, Edgar can easily spam charge his super thanks to this gadget right here. So this star power comes in clutch because you can literally cycle through Edgar's super and just casually squad wipe teams. Another broken thing about Edgar is that he can heal when he does damage, so it will take much longer for enemies to whack you out of existence because you're literally healing yourself every time you deal damage. Edgar's hypercharge isn't really anything special, but if you have some extra coins, it's definitely a good add-on. But yeah, overall, Edgar is a no-skill brawler and it really takes no effort to use him. That is why he's a great brawler to max out this season, especially because of the buffs he got. But yeah, we are on to the final 3 brawlers on this list, and you need to max them out right now this season. You don't want to miss the last brawler on this list because this brawler is literally breaking the game right now. But yeah, the next brawler on this list is Mina. Now, Mina did get several nerfs this season. Her gadget cooldowns went from 18 seconds to 20 seconds, and her third attack damage went down from 4,400 to 4,000. And in the November 12 balance changes, her second attack damage went from 2,800 to 2,000. And her health got reduced from 8,200 to 7,400. Even with these nerfs, I still think that Mina is an S tier brawler. You're probably asking, how Kashewz? How is she still breaking the game? Well, I got one word for you. Hypercharge. Now, don't get me wrong, Mina's mechanics are still crazy broken. Her Kappa What gadget and Blown Away star power are a crazy combo. She also does a total of 7,600 damage if you hit all 3 of her attacks, which is still way too much damage, bro. But her hypercharge is next level, bro. It pretty much allows her super to fire 3 hurricanes instead of 1, and they can bounce around like BB's super sort of. Now, if you pair this hypercharge with the Blown Away star power, you can literally stun every enemy that you hit with her 3 tornadoes and just spam attack the enemies afterwards. The hypercharge also has a pretty decent charge rate as well, so you can spam this in 3v3 game modes like Brawl Ball and Gem Grab. Okay, this next brawler is extremely obvious, but you need to definitely max him out and take advantage, and that is the legend himself, Cordelius Gaming. Now, there's no surprise that this assassin brawler is on the list. He just does way too much damage, and he's a versatile brawler who's great in every game mode. Now, Cordelius did get a few nerfs in the recent balance changes. His movement speed during his super got reduced from 20% to 10%, and his reload speed got reduced from 30% to 20%. Even with these nerfs, I still think that this brawler is a solid S tier. For reference, one of his attacks literally does 3,200 damage if you hit both mushrooms, and if you have the star power equipped, the second mushroom does 20% more damage. So even with these nerfs, Cordelius's damage output is still insane, and he's completely breaking the game right now. And I forgot to mention that this poison mushroom gadget prevents enemies from attacking for 1 second. So if you use this gadget close range on an enemy, it's basically a free elimination because they can do nothing but run for the next 1 second. I have a feeling that Cordelius is going to get a huge damage nerf in the next balance changes, so this is a perfect time to max him out and use him for ranked or even get him to 1,000 trophies. But yeah, we are on to the final brawler on this list that you need to max out this season. Now, this is a brawler that has been broken for several months now, and she is easily an S tier brawler right now, and that is Lily Gaming. Now, for some reason, Lily didn't get nerfed in the recent balance changes, so she is extremely broken right now. Now, Lily's damage output is just insane, especially because of her super, this star power, and this hypercharge. Like, once you hit an enemy with her super, the star power allows Lily's next attack to do 1,090 more damage. Her hypercharge also allows her to teleport herself and the enemy she hits to the Shadow Realm, so it's basically a free elimination. And don't even get me started with her vanish gadget. If you're in scenarios where your enemy is absolutely cooking you, or you want to simply sneak up on your enemy, just pop this gadget and either run away from your enemies or push them and whack them out of existence. Lily is definitely one of the best assassins in the game right now. If you consider maxing her out, make sure to use this build including the hypercharge. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, click on this video to see a full guide on how to use Ziggy in Brawl Stars.